Good morning and welcome to this edition of the Lynn Hayes Freeland Show. I feel like we got two different things going on today. A little bit later in the program, we're going to meet a woman who has written a book on her life story. It is a story that will touch your heart. It ends, however, with a grain of hope. Ironically, that's the name of the book. So we're going to talk with her about what it's like to have 3 children and lose 2 of the 3 children. We begin, however, with a celebration. And yep, I'm talking a celebration. It has been exactly 1 year since my guest, Rev Tinors, and her husband joined St. Paul Baptist Church.
Yeah.
And now you're celebrating your first anniversary, you and your husband,
it has
Reverend Marco Tinor.
Yeah, it has gone by so fast, and I just can't believe it's been a year. We transitioned originally from Mount Ararat Baptist Church, and we moved to St. Paul Baptist Church, which is located in Point Breeze. It's on the corner of Penn Avenue and Fifth Avenue.
Big church right there.
Yes, we supply the digital time to everyone passing on Penn Avenue, so thank you for that. But it's been tremendous. There are just wonderful people there, wonderful outreach ministries, and Pastor Tinor, he's actually the 5th pastor of that church. Reverend Sims was the pastor for 40 years at that particular church. So now us coming in, kind of a fresh breath, a bit younger, really starting to revitalize that church. And we've implemented new technology and just going at it. And it's a couple
of things that you mentioned I want to pick up on, because first of all, you mentioned that Reverend Jim Sims had been at that church for, it seemed like, as long as I could remember. So how difficult is that to come in for you and Pastor Tinor to come into that church where there was such a long-standing history with Reverend Sims?
Yeah, initially I really thought that it was going to be difficult, and I kind of told Marco, wow, this is going to be an interesting transition, but it has been so welcoming. I mean, the people there have just, treated us like we are their own, and have never once compared us or never once, kind of made us feel slighted in any type of way. So for me, I wasn't anticipating that, and it's been a great anticipation to see that is how they have received us.
Absolutely. So this is coming up on your 1-year anniversary. We're going to talk about the celebration in just a second. You mentioned new technology. Talk to me about some of the highlights that you see from the last year.
Wow, so we have implemented a brand new media system. We have 2 huge flat screen TVs in the front of the church, as well as a digital soundboard in the back. And we're just starting to incorporate a lot of the online media to engage the people who are online and watching online. That seems to be the way people do church a lot as well. So we wanted to engage those people, but just a new sound. We have Parish Davenport of the Family and Friends Choir, who is a part of St. Paul now. He's actually the music director, and he has a fantastic choir, so it's just great to hear them in a new and crisp and just very clear way now.
Sure, because people underestimate or don't realize what a difference digital can make in terms of the quality.
Exactly.
Okay, so 1 year, you mentioned that the 2 of you came over from Mount Ararat. That would probably then make sense why there's a connection there for this celebration coming up.
Absolutely. So the celebration coming up is on Sunday, June 11th. There is a 10:30 morning service, and Kadri Webb, who is actually a pastor friend of my husband from California, he'll be preaching that service. And then at 4:30 that evening, we will be at the Doubletree in Monroeville, and Dr. William Houston Curtis will be preaching that sermon, and he is from, of course, Mount Ararat Baptist Church. And so it's just going to be a great celebration. If you need something to do, there's going to be wonderful menu items to partake in, so that's always a draw for people. If the food is going to be good, and the Family and Friends Choir will be there, so it's just going to be a great time in the Lord and a great networking opportunity. So it's just, come on down.
So I'm guessing as well that this is a great opportunity for people who have had a relationship with St. Paul over the year to come back and celebrate as well and see what new things are happening.
Absolutely, and we've noticed that just over the past 6 months, just with the transition in pastors and Reverend Sims being out, some of the membership had died off some bit, and now, you know, over the past few months, I mean, granted, we're still new, but we're seeing those members come back, and we're seeing them bring their younger family members as well. And so the church is just in a constant state of growth, and we're excited about that. So for this particular event, I'm sure we'll see some of those people, and even a greater amount, you know, come back and, you know, make this their first time that they're really coming back to St. Paul Baptist Church.
Absolutely, because a lot of times that's what people look for. They look for some stability. They want to know who's going to be in that pulpit every Sunday. They want to know who's going to bring the word, and now you have that at your church. Now, tough question for you. This is the first time you've been a first lady.
Oh boy, I knew that was going to come up.
How big of an adjustment is that?
It's a big adjustment, I think. I mean, I guess I'm not your typical first lady. Like, I don't sit in the front row. I don't even own a hat. I don't own any gloves. So I probably need to work at that, but I'm okay with that, you know, and just the culture that I come from, you know, we dress down, and I mean, for me, it's more so about my faith and more so about the people and just, you know, worshiping and talking to God. And so that's what I focus on. But as far as like how I've been received, it's been wonderful. All of the members of that church have just been so gracious and just so welcoming that it literally feels like family.
So then on June 11th, I'm not going to see you in a big hat and gloves?
You know, for June 11th, I might surprise you. Every once in a while, like I'll break it out for the people just to give them a little something. But yeah, so if you come, I won't be surprised. I should be hatted up, yes.
There you go. All right, what do folks need to do to get tickets?
So you can go to stpaulbc.org.